Hey everyone, welcome to Deluxe Designs. Today I'm actually going to be working on two dresses. One is a classic Alice in Wonderland dress and the other one is the dark Alice version. I have this white and cotton, a darker blue cotton, a lighter blue cotton, and a black and white stretchy fabric for the leggings. Let's get sewing. First, I'm going to start with the bloomers for the classic Alice. This is my base starter pattern for them. And I wanted to show you guys that I use all kinds of things for my pattern pieces. This template was cut from an old cereal box. I use cardboard, thicker cardstock paper. For these bloomers, I will be hemming the top and the bottom and adding a ruffled edge along the bottom of them. I know classic Alice has white leggings, but I'm changing mine up and doing them with a stripe. I love the look of the stripe even though it isn't perfectly accurate. So here, along the bottom hem of the legs, I'm leaving quite a wide pocket. This is so I can fit the elastic in and sew my ruffle along the lower bottom edge. I'll try and show you guys that shortly. Here's the piece I'm using for the ruffle. I'm folding it over near the edge and sewing a hem. Normally I would pin this in place, but with this fabric I can fold it over as I sew and I can actually see through the fabric to make sure my lines are straight. Now I need to sew as close to the bottom edge of the bloomers as I can. This way the elastic will still fit in the channel I made. I'll be putting elastic into the waist at the legs as well, and I always cut the elastic a little longer than I think I need just in case. I have cut it too short before. I use my safety pin to help me pull the elastic through the channel. The middle seam is usually where this is the trickiest. Just take your time. You can also tape the end of the safety pin together if you're worried about it popping open while you're doing this. I have done that as well. And don't forget to pin the end in place so you don't pull it all the way through. I'm going to do the same thing on the legs. See how it creates the ruffle? Now I just have to fold the sides over and construct the bloomers. Here's the striped fabric for the leggings. It's a super stretchy knit, so it can easily slide onto the doll. I only have small pieces left, so I'm going to be making above the knee leggings. Finding striped fabric on a small scale is actually sometimes really tricky. So if I ever come across thin black and white stripes, I will always buy it. If you wrap the fabric the wrong way around on the doll, you can mark where to stitch in order to fit it around her legs. Since this fabric is really stretchy, there's leeway with it, so you don't have to be perfect. So here are both of the leggings on inside out. Just turn them the right way around after you trim the excess fabric and all is good. Here I'm finishing the construction of the bloomers, making sure I have enough stretch in the elastic to fit nicely but not too snug. They look super cute over the leggings. You can play around with the length, the gathers, you can make them just how you want by making simple adjustments here and there. Here are the pieces for the main dress. I have the skirt, the bodice, the lower apron parts, and the body of the apron. I have the puff sleeve pieces here too. I have rectangles cut out, which will be the hem on the puff sleeve as well. I'll show you that soon. First, I'm going to hem the skirt, and then I can start constructing the bodice. I'm going to attach the shoulders first and then attach the sleeves. So for the sleeves, what I do is I fold them over to find the center, and I attach the center to the seam of the shoulder on the bodice. From there, I'll go to each side and form little pleats to create the puffy look. I'm going to stitch the sleeve to the bodice to attach it and do the same on the other side. And when I fold it the right way around, this is the look that it gives. After that, I'm going to be gathering the bottom hem of the sleeves to create more volume and adding a slim hem to it. This part holds all the gathers nicely. Now that that is done, I'm going to be attaching the bodice to the skirt. I need to make sure all the gathers on the skirt are nice and even as I stitch. I love working with dolls that have removable hands. It makes things so much easier. Ever try getting a long sleeve shirt onto an old Barbie doll? I love how she looks so far. As you can see, I added the Peter Pan style collar, and next is the apron. It's going to go over her shoulders and then down to the portion that will be over her skirt. So far, so cute. Here's the bottom part of the apron, and this is the body of it. I'm going to do the same as the blue dress. Attach the shoulders first. For her apron, it has a nice rounded collar. The easiest way to do this on a small scale is to sew a backing in a circle shape. Trying to hem a tiny circle by folding over fabric at the edge is hard and doesn't end up looking as clean. Hopefully you'll see what I mean here. So I used a piece of fabric and sewn the collar shape on the back side. When I flip it over, it is now a lining and it makes a nice clean circle. See how nice the collar looks this way? These pieces are like little half circles. I'll be using these to form the shoulder ruffles. The same thing applies here as it does to the neckline of the apron. It is easier to make a clean looking curved edge by sewing two pieces together. So I've attached two half circles And when I turn them the right way around, they're going to make the shoulder ruffle, but with a nice clean edge. One for each side, of course. I'm going to pleat them a little bit to create the ruffle and attach them to the armholes. There's the top of the apron. Just have to attach it together. I just have to add the belted portion that's going to go around her waist. This gives me a spot to put the snaps on and attach the bow at the back. So here's the way I make a bow. So you just wrap the ribbon around your fingers to the approximate size you want. If you don't want it as wide as this, just use 2 instead of 4, for example. Then you take your needle and thread and go through the center and wrap around and through your fingers. Don't worry, watching myself do this also made me cringe. But I promise, I didn't stab myself at any point. Shockingly. Well, at least today. Now, just wrap the thread around the center as many times as you like and you pull it tight. This creates the bow. Just knot your threads together when you're done and there you have it. You can also put a small piece of ribbon around the center of the bow if you like, maybe a contrasting color or a pattern. This one, I'm not going to do that with. I'm just going to attach this to the back of the apron so that when it's closed, it's going to be at the center of the back. Now, project number 2, it's Dark Alice. The main part of this dress is pretty much the same, but the apron is different and will have some extra detailing, like these symbols on the pockets and a few other details. I have all my pieces cut out like the last dress, and a lot of the elements are the same: skirt, puff sleeves, bodice, apron, and all of that. As you can see, a lot of these elements mirror what I already showed you. Attaching the shoulders, the puff sleeve detail, the hem on the sleeve, and attaching the skirt to the bodice. Here's the top of the dark blue dress. I already made the leggings, as you can see, as they're the same as what I showed you already. Now I'm just going to finish these elements so I can get to the apron portion, which is different from the first outfit. The main part of the apron is also the same, but there's no added ruffle on the shoulders. So I'm going to hem the lower part like the first one and create the bodice in the exact same way. also wanted to show you guys a tip. If you don't have an iron or don't feel like digging one out, you can use your finger or your fingernail to press down folds. This will help guide you as you're sewing and show you where to stitch. My iron happens to be next to me usually, but for some of these small pieces, using this trick is a time saver. I'm using this trick to create a slim belt on this apron. Now for the extra details, the best part. This apron has 2 pockets and stitching down the outside and around the pockets with the symbols on them. I'm going to be using this black outdoor thread for the black stitch details. You can also use regular thread, embroidery thread, or upholstery thread, or whatever you have on hand. You can even paint it if you want. I like to use this outdoor thread because it's thicker than normal thread, as you can see here, and it gives you a cleaner look than embroidery thread. So I'm going to be stitching all the way around the hems on the neckline, sleeves, lower apron, and the stitching is also on the outer edges of the pockets. I'm doing this by hand obviously, so the spacing won't be perfect, but I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible. This is the part that takes the longest, but it's also the most satisfying in my opinion. Here's how the main part looks. Now off to the pockets. Here I use my Cricut to cut out the designs for the pockets. I'll be honest, I scaled them down slightly after I shot this part of the video because I didn't like how big they were after I looked at them a little bit closer. So the end result has a slightly smaller version of the symbol. To be honest, half the time I cut something out in 3 to 4 sizes so I can compare them on the actual garment. So these are going to get ironed on and I'm going to do some finishing touches and then the big reveal.